ability for me to get a better understanding of the impact of the tsunami disaster a week ago yesterday. I just had a tour of the harbor and had incredible photographs of the surge event as it was happening and seeing the cumulative damage. But I think what most importantly is to be noted is how quickly the Santa Cruz Harbor District, special district with its own elected board of directors, was so responsive to not only to the harbor but to the citizens of this country who are always at risk when you have a disaster. Fortunately, this is one where you had some warnings so that the word could get out, and Harbor District responding in the middle of the night, coming down and waking people up who were asleep on their boats and warned them of the pending event. Being able to shut off the water and power that could have been broken and contaminated and had other serious damages, and certainly had they not done this, could have had loss of life in this harbor. So behind me are people that all were here responding that day, including our chair of our great board of supervisors in this county, Bill Kennedy, who's been through a lot of disasters. And I'm here on the behalf of being the federal branch. The governor, the process for getting a presidential declaration or a federal emergency is a bottoms-up process. It's an assessment process. It's essentially done by numbers. It's the number of people and or property values lost, both public and private, and it's calibrated by state size. And so for California's threshold, it's a $44 million figure that has to be hit in order to get a federal declaration. The state is still counting, still assessing the losses. In some cases they've been downsized, in other cases the numbers aren't in yet, but the bottom line is that the state has not yet hit that $44 million threshold. Nonetheless, of all the silos that are in the FEMA declaration, like the Small Business Administration, they've already been able to declare with the state disaster that the governor has declared a ability to help private businesses and perhaps boat owners with the emergency assistance they have, which in most cases is just low interest rate loans and borrowing money. Interest rates are pretty low right now anyway, so how necessary that will be, we'll see. But what we're interested in right now is getting the harbor backing its economic function as a full working harbor. The channel, I understand, is still blocked by some debris that's in the channel opening, and with the NOAA equipment, they certainly hopefully get that assessed today and be able to either tag it or remove it so that the harbor can be opened as soon as possible and folks can get back, fishermen back on the waters, and pleasure boats and commercial craft can also be used. It is about making this port, which is a very important port. It's the biggest. I represent 3 ports: Moss Landing, Monterey, and Santa Cruz. And of those 3 ports, this is the largest in both berthing. Moss Landing is probably the largest commercial harbor. But nonetheless, there's commercial activity out of this harbor as well. So we want to get this district back on its feet. And I'd like to just turn it over to people who are representing different agencies here.